Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 20 of the Foot Basket Podcast. I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad that you are here today. Big shout out, 20 episodes. That means that's 20 weeks of Foot Basket Podcast stuff related. It's been an amazing 20 weeks, and I'm glad to hit this milestone. I think every single subscriber, every single viewer, everyone that likes the videos, that comments, I appreciate everybody that taps into these videos. If it's your first time, welcome. If you have any quality issues, just press the settings button and hit quality and put it at 1080 pixels. That's what I'm filming at. YouTube usually automatically just does 360, so you can just change quality. Things just like that. We're just gonna be going over the first round of playoffs. We didn't even go over playing last week, so I'm gonna go over a little bit of the playing as well. Because it's been a while since I've seen you guys. It's been a week, so a lot of things have happened this week in NBA, which is it's been a great week. So let's dive into it. I want to first give all the glory to God. Allow me to be here. Allow me to do this podcast and hit the 20th episode. I am so grateful. I just ask that God continues to guide me through this podcast and everything like that. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I gotta in a way I gotta hurry up and finish this because the Nuggets and the Timberwolves is on right now, and I started watching a little bit in it. Oh my goodness, this game looks like it's gonna be a banger. I just finished watching that Knicks Hawks game. That was a banger. If you know, then you know. Look, it might be happening. You know what I'm saying, bro? And then I did my last week. If you didn't watch, I did my predictions and with the Raptors today as well. I mean, it is in Cleveland, so we'll see when they go back home. But it ain't looking too good on my prediction. And some from these playing games I'm about to mention, my predictions are already a little cooked. So let's go over these playing games because I haven't talked to you since. So should we just start with best? Let's just start with the best one, bro. That Hornets Miami game, bro. Oh, like it feels weird. Like it feels so old to be talking about this, but like, bro, this game was one of the best playing games in the last 5-10 years, or how long has I think the playing has been here for 5 years, so it's been one of the best playing games ever because the playing hasn't even been here that long. Again, we don't know what would happen if Bam was actually playing in that game, but I think this is good for the Miami Heat. Hopefully they get a little lottery pick, and hopefully they buy, and maybe even buying is trading that lottery pick that they may be getting. If they jump up, they jump up, and boy, y'all might trade that and go buying again, because again, like this, if this team doesn't really fully sell everything, they're always going to be good. And no matter what their roster looks like, they have a great head coach. They have a great defensive star with Bam. They have the two great offensive guys when it comes to Tyler Hero and Norman Powell, which can't really play together. They played a minute maximum together during this game, and even throughout the regular season, I think Tyler Hero and Norman Powell has like a maximum of like 8 minutes combined played together, just because they really can't play together. So that means one of them is definitely gonna be gone this offseason, which I know Norman Powell is a free agent, so they might just let him walk. But this game was a banger, and I know Bam getting injured definitely sucks, but bro, that Kobe White shot was absolutely insane. I was watching this game live, and I kept calling my boy. I was like, bro, this shot crazy. Then it went to overtime, and LaMelo hit that shot. Then that block, and it was just a banger game. And I appreciate the Charlotte Hornets for winning this game. Unfortunately, which I'll just go to this game. Actually, no, I'm away. Let's talk about that 76ers Magic game. So, I wanna verbally give my apologies to the Magic and all Magic fans. I know one of my boys really taps into these videos, and he's a Magic fan. Hey, before the playoffs or playing even started, the main thing that really had me skeptical about this Orlando Magic team is, one, throughout this whole season they've been dealing with injuries. They haven't really played together. And they lost that identity that they had last year. Last year they were a top 5 defense. This year they were 25th or something like that. They were the bottom 15 in the league. So they lost that identity. Their half-court offense isn't even that crazy. They're not a great three-point shooting team, but like they had the identity of being a defensive juggernaut, and they didn't have that this season. And I was like, if they don't have this offense, if they don't have this identity of being a great defensive team, and Franz is just coming off his injury, Paulo hasn't had the best season, I'm just a little skeptical about them. And the biggest thing that really took a hit was the last game of the season. if they win the game against the Celtics, because they played the Celtics, but I don't know much people really tapped into those last game, because most of those last games people were just sitting their starters. But the Magic actually played like hard that game, because if they win that Celtics game, that last game, they're the 7th seed instead of the 8th seed, and it's a 7-8 matchup between them and the 76ers. And the Celtics sat their top 7 players, and the Magic lost to the lost to the Celtics. I know Joe Mazzulla is gonna win Coach of the Year, but come on, bro. Come on. Like, and watching that game, they just didn't have that. It looked like they didn't want to play, and I know they're having locker room issues and a coaching issue, which I think Jamal Mosley is still gonna get fired at this season. But no matter what they do, but yeah, they're having problems over there, and it was just like after losing that Celtics game, then after losing that 76ers game with no Joel Embiid, and that 76ers offense was so mid. Like, it was just Tyrese Maxey at like the half court, bringing a screen on the logo to try to at least create some space for himself, because nobody else could hit shots on that team. Kelly Oubre wasn't playing too bad, but and when they lost that game to the 76ers, I was like, dang, bro. Now they about to play the best team in the league. Trolling, but like the Charlotte Hornets have been one of the best teams in the league since January 1st, and been one of the most fun teams to watch. America's favorite team, as people have been saying, but I don't know what happened, but they decided to actually lock in, and it in my opinion, if the Magic were playing how they played against the Charlotte all season, if they played like that against the Celtics, if they played against the 76ers, I think they would be a 4 seed, 5 seed right now. I think they could be better than the Cavaliers, definitely better than the Hawks, and people were really bought into the Magic having like a 50-win season and stuff like that, and I was kind of bought into it too. And so they came into the season, and I was like, oh my goodness, these boys don't look the same as they did last year, where they had the identity of being such a great defensive team. And this Hornets game, they came out so physical, and it's exactly what they were last year, and was what made people think this season that they were going to be so good. In a way, am I happy that they won this game? Not really, because I kind of wanted to see the Hornets in the playoffs. But after watching that first game, which I don't want to go into yet, because we have the playing games to talk about, but after watching that first game against the Pistons, I think the Magic really do really well against the Pistons when it comes to like matchup versus matchup. And I think the series I don't know if it was going to be better than the Hornets series, but I'm not too mad at, because the Magic decided to lock in. If they were playing how they played against 76ers, they played how they played against the Celtics, this would be such a boring and terrible series. But the Magic locked in, and hey, they're gonna be fun to watch now that they're actually trying, and they're actually having this defensive identity, and Gina Suggs is being a real basketball player. Paulo Banchero looks like the Paulo that we've been seeing before this season, because this season he was not doing really too well. But Franz Wagner is trying to still pick up himself and stuff like that. So we'll see how this Magic team does. But I'm glad that at least they're locked in. Whether or not they win the series, at least they're actually tapped in. Let's go out west when it comes to these playing games. So that Warriors Clippers game, bro. My goodness, Kawhi Leonard, bro. Listen, bro. I was watching one of my most trusted sources 4 weeks ago, saying that Kawhi Leonard is 5th in MVP and an All NBA first team player, and that's how he was playing. And I couldn't even disagree at the moment, bro. When I was coming into this game, I was like, oh, Kawhi Leonard he finna go crazy. Being one of the oldest players to tap into his career high or something like that this season, and boy, dang, bro. I mean, I know Draymond Green is a great defender, especially that fourth quarter. I can't say too much on Kawhi, especially like that inbounds play and him bringing the ball up court. He's got ripped. I mean, it's unfortunate, but like he was missing shots as well, and he just didn't seem as aggressive. He didn't seem like that Kawhi we've been seeing all season. So it was just a disappointing loss, because I had predicted the Clippers to win this game, because I didn't think the Warriors were gonna get past whoever won the 7-8, and even if they won that, they're going against OKC. But yeah. Steph Curry did what Steph Curry does, and it's hard to watch, because like I think people might notice, people might not. I feel like the Warriors are unfortunately like the Kansas City Chiefs to me. Like I'm not gonna say I hate watching them, but like, dang, bro, like Steph Curry still do this at the age of 40, bro. Like, I don't know. Some people say they're not tired of it. I am, bro. He don't miss, bro. And I'm not hate watching in a way that I'm talking negatively about him. He's so good that it genuinely like it messes me up, bro. But yeah, Steph Curry tapped into this game. That 7-8 matchup, I really thought the Suns were going to win this game, but Denny Audia looked like LeBron James, bro. He was driving so well, getting the foul calls, getting the and ones. He just played amazing. I think he had 35, 8, and 11 or something like that. Other people wasn't hitting their shots like that, but then he showed out, and the Suns couldn't guard him. And then I know the Suns are missing Grayson Allen, they're missing Mark Williams, and with that rim protection, but bro, it even it kind of just showed, it summarized the whole game, showing how in that last play where Denny had that and one against Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks let his man go. Let his man go to the corner when Denny was calling the ISO against, I think it might have been Jordan Goodwin. And then he gets past Jordan Goodwin, starts driving to the paint against Dylan Brooks. Again, there's no rim protector because he had no Mark Williams. Also, Iguodala is not really a rim protector like that. So he just gets his way. And, I mean, that's how the Suns lost his game because Denny was just tapped in. And Devin Booker wasn't hitting shots. He was missing free throws. I was like, bro, come on, bro. Because I think if Devin Booker tapped into this game, even though Denny had a crazy game, I think the Suns could possibly win this game because Jenny Green wasn't playing bad. Their offense wasn't looking too terrible. It was a little stagnant at times, but yeah. And then like the 9-8 matchup, I actually don't think I tapped into the game too much. I think I might have been working, but the Suns win this game. I actually don't think I really tapped into this game. I actually didn't even watch the highlights, so I don't have much to say about this game, which is kind of unfortunate because I know Draymond Green and someone was getting chippy at the end, and he was clapping with the fans. I saw clips like that, but I actually didn't watch this game, so I don't have too much to say about that one. But the Suns proceed into the playoffs. Which I predicted it right. I had the Suns and the Trailblazers, right? I had the Suns and the Trailblazers I had the Suns and the Clippers getting to the playoffs. And on the East, I had Charlotte and I had the 76ers. So I went 50% on the East, 50% on the West. So we'll see how my prediction goes with the playoffs. Because right now the Toronto Raptors are cooking my thing right now. Let's start with this first round. We'll just start in the West with the 1-8 matchup. I also gotta remember these games because boy, I've been watching a lot of basketball. But OKC versus the Suns. I'm trying to remember this game. I just know OKC was cooking most of the game. I think the Suns had a little stretch where they were kind of trying to come back, but OKC defensively was looking so well. I remember Jerry McCain came into the game and like the whole stadium started rocking. That boy had 2 minutes maximum. I think he had like a minute. Like it was like 12 seconds or something like that. J-Dub looked really good this game, which is really good because he's still coming off that injury and trying to play through it and deal with it. But it was good to see J-Dub have a good game. I know Thunder was dealing with some foul trouble as well. Like Isaiah Hartenstein was having some foul trouble, and even then, Chet was doing good. It was just a good game from the Thunder overall, and they smacked them Suns, bro. So to the 4-5 matchup where LeBron was out here cooking Luke Kennard, which I just watched a statistics video on one of my other like trusted sources, and it was about true shooting percentage or true shot percentage or something like that, and like Steph Curry won it from like 2015 to like 2015 to last season. He's won it every other season besides 2020 where he was injured. And I forgot who won it that season. So every season that Curry's been active, he's won it. And Steph Curry got second this year. And behind that boy Luke Kennard, bro. Luke Kennard had, I think it was like a 96% true shooting percentage or something. It was something. I forgot what the stat is. It's by Crafted NBA, which is a W website if you actually mess with advanced statistics and stuff like that. Luke Kennard had a little 29-point game. Good win by the Lakers. I still believe that the Rockets are going to win this game. No KD. The offense is already not that good with KD. So without KD, it looked even worse. Amen Thompson was not cooking. Alperen Sengun was not cooking. So it was just ugly over there. But I still believe that the Rockets could win this game. Whether or not Luka comes back, whether or not Reeves comes back, I still have the Rockets winning this series. Don't mess up my parlay, bro. 3-6 matchup. I was unfortunately working for my Nuggets game, which I'm about to, as soon as this is over, I'm going to go tap into this Nuggets game because it started looking so good already. I watched like the last like 2 minutes of this game, I think, where the Timberwolves kept like trying to creep back, but then the Nuggets would hit big time shots. I know Jokic had a decent to good game, which a decent to good game is for him is like 24, 11, and 8. Cam Johnson, I know, was starting to look a little bit better, and towards the end of the season, he was starting getting more comfortable. He had some big time shots. I know I was watching the game right now. He just missed an open three to start off, but it's okay. we trust in Cam Johnson. He's literally one of our X factors. I feel like when it comes to this playoff run, is if Cam Johnson's gonna hit his shots. That is such an important factor, bro. Because Michael Porter Jr. would have hit his shots, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Anthony Edwards gonna have a big game. Box score wise, again, I didn't watch too much of this game, but Anthony Edwards gonna have a really strong big game, and I know he's dealing with Render's knee, as well. He's playing through that injury, and I also know, is someone else injured on the Nuggets? I can't for sure remember, but I know Anthony Edwards is dealing with the injury, so we'll see how he plays. I know literally watching this game right now as well, he's already touching his knee and starting to act like, show agony that he's in pain and stuff like that. So we'll see how it ends up for Ant, because I know he wants to play. He was already saying how much he was upset like that he couldn't play this whole season, all 82 games. So I know the playoffs especially, he's gonna for sure want to tap in. So and then the second seed Spurs versus the 7th seed Trailblazers. I did watch most of this game. I started listening to a little bit because I had to drive. The Trailblazers had a point in this game, I think in the third or fourth quarter, where if they just hit a shot, they're in the lead. And I'm like, whoosh. That boy, Scoot Henderson was hitting shots. Drew Holiday couldn't hit anything, and he a vet. But anyways, Denny wasn't playing too bad. I'm trying to remember who was scoring. I don't know how the Trailblazers were like in this game with the Spurs, and it was like, whoa. And another thing that like I didn't like from the coaching staff of the Trailblazers is that once Wemby went out, they were playing as if Wemby was still in the paint, and they were still sailing with threes, and although they were hitting those threes, and I mean they were probably shooting like 60% of the time. Bro, if I'm a coach, once Wemby gets on that bench, bro, Denny just showed us in a game against the Suns that if he's driving, he's gonna get a foul, and if he doesn't get a foul, he's gonna scream until he gets a foul, and if he doesn't do that, then he's gonna make the shots. So like, Luke Cornett, you finna get 3 fouls, buddy. Like that's the goal, and I think something that could really work against Wemby in this series or even other series is that get Wemby in foul trouble. I'm telling you, bro. If I'm a player and Wemby's guarding me, bro, I'm flopping so fast. I'm screaming and I'm flopping ASAP, because if Wemby gets in foul trouble, he's still gonna block shots, but like the aggressiveness is gonna go down. He's gonna be in his own head and stuff like that. And shout out to Wemby, because he had a great game, one of the best games of a playoff debut. I think like 35 or something like that. He had a couple like insane plays where he laid like a spin move from the free throw line and dunked without leaving the floor or something like that. He blocked a couple shots without leaving the floor, and that's what we've seen from Wemby throughout the whole season. So it's not even too surprising anymore. But yeah, there was a point in this game where the Trailblazers literally just need to hit a shot to get the lead, and then they went down like 5-6, and then like to 12, and then like the rest of the game was pretty chopped. But like a guy like Drew Holiday, I feel like is like also like an X factor for this series, because he's like the vet in the locker room. He's a vet on the court, and I know they were talking in the interviews and on the broadcast that like Drew Holiday is showing that he's a vet, as in like when he's speaking to these players and the team huddles and stuff like that. But like, bro, Drew Holiday, bro, I need you to hit some shots, because that boy Denny can't drive. If he can't drive, he ain't got a bag. Scoot Henderson, really young. Shaedon Sharpe, really young. Shaedon Sharpe is not cooking either, by the way, because again, that boy's a little bit of a slasher. He ain't got a really, outside court bag like that. So, two of your best players, are being limited right now to settle for, spots on the court that's not their number one. You know what I'm saying? So I think a guy like Drew Holiday really needs to step up when it comes to shot making. Let's go to the East now. Cause boy. Okay, let's go through the second 7 seed. Let's get the game out the way. Bro, the Celtics smacked. And I know Joel Embiid was not playing. I did watch this game live as well. And another thing I want to shout out, bro. That boy Jason Tatum looks so good, bro. And I was watching one of my a podcast guy, and he was saying that like this isn't like Jason Tatum's one of his like best games offensively since he's been back. But bro, in my opinion, I was watching Jason Tatum and I was like, oh my goodness. But he's coming out the screens, pulling up 90% contested green, and that's what we were seeing last season throughout his whole career. You know that little fadeaway in the corner that he does. Green. And I was like, bro, like Jason Tatum is back. This defense looks so against the 76, so good against the 76ers. They couldn't do anything. Every time somebody drove, they saw three bodies. They made the person, whoever drove, to kick out and try to make a good pass, and for that person to then make a shot. And the Celtics team, one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not the best. I know they allow the lowest amount of points per game from opponents, but bro, straight up belt. Straight up belt, and we'll see what happens when Joel Embiid gets back. But I think this could possibly a sweep. I forgot what I said for this series. What I predicted, I might have said 5, but bro, I think even with Joel Embiid, bro, I don't think it's gonna help anything, bro. Excuse me. So let's go to this Detroit Magic game. I think the biggest thing that really hurt Detroit was how slow they came out. Again, Magic decided to lock in this Hornets game, and they came out so strong, and they did the same thing against this in this first Detroit game, and I don't think Detroit was ready for it. I guess the Magic also have another thing where they kind of just have this chip on their shoulder where people around the league and fans and media and stuff like that are saying like, yo, the Magic are out of it. Yo, the Magic are firing their head coach, and they might sell. They might trade away Franz. They might trade away Paulo. What's going to be happening? Blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's just driving them to become a good team because, to be honest with you, it hasn't been too good during the regular season, but they decided to really tap into in the first quarter, starting out the gates, being so physical, being hitting their shots, Paulo looking really good offensively. Again, something that like I was also seeing as well as I was watching another podcaster when it comes to this Detroit game, and I saw it as well when I was watching it live, is that Ausar Thompson is starting DPOY, and he did not play much to any minutes in that second half because they just trust in Cade to only create, and Magic were able to understand that and force him out and force him in uncomfortable positions. And the Detroit had to bring in Dennis Jenkins to come in because no one else can create. And it's just unfortunate for this Detroit team that they couldn't get another creator, and a guy like Caris LeVert he's just not playable. Even though he is a creator for himself, he is just not playable. Jalen Duren did not have a good game as well. Sometimes Jalen Duren can create a little bit for himself, but like when Cade is genuinely the only one that's cooking, teams are going to be able to counter that, especially in the playoffs, especially in a series. So it's just like they had to bring in Dennis Jenkins, which you're losing a third and DPOY candidate for Dennis Jenkins. It's just unfortunate for his team. I mean, I still think that Detroit's gonna win this game, but like 60 wins is a lot of wins, and that's what they had this season. And it is a great milestone because like literally 3 seasons ago, they're one of the best stories from going from 14 losses in a row, 20 losses in a row, something like that, to being the number 1 seed with 60 wins. It's just this only creation with Cade has to stop. Like after the season, it can't be another season of this. Because it's causing you to bring in Dennis Jenkins and leave out Ausar Thompson. They just can't do this anymore. But yeah, it was a good game. Again, I think Detroit coming out super slow messed them up for the rest of the game, and then Magic were able to just really make Cade uncomfortable, and Detroit had to pivot and find out what they can do offensively. So they brought in a guy like Dennis Jenkins. Let's go to the next game, which I didn't watch much of for the first round of the Cleveland Toronto game. After I was watching some of the highlights, and I was seeing some of what podcasters are saying and stuff like that. And this was a game where Toronto was hitting their shots, and they're one of the worst playoff teams in the half court offensively. So like what this team does a lot, which we saw during the regular season, that they're going to get their stop because they're one of the better defensive teams in the league, and they're going to get their stop. They're going to get their turnover, and in transition, they're going to get a transition bucket. They're going to get a cross matchup where a guard is guarding a big because of that transition, trying to hurt and guard somebody, and they get their points like that. But Cleveland did not have any turnovers, so they had to dribble the ball up the court and create offense. And this game, they actually were hitting shots. Yeah, I think Toronto scored 115 to be exact. Which like for a Toronto game and like their field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and everything, it was like, yo, this isn't bad. And for them to lose a game where they actually were hitting shots, which they don't be hitting too much, like too often, and they had, not too many what's it called, transition buckets and transition offense. They needed to win this game, and unfortunately, they do lose, and they also lose today as well. Um, but I still have. It's just unfortunate they're down 2-0, bro. Is it crazy to already bail out of one of my predictions, bro? Which I'm about to create new predictions because I done messed up the whole freaking plan, bro. But it's Toronto's offense that needs to they need to hit their shots. And also just get those turnovers. I know guys, a guy like James Harden, a guy like Donovan Mitchell, they're not gonna turn the ball over too much. But you really need to play good enough defense to hope that they will, so you can get your transition buckets and those cross matchups, stuff like that. Let's go over this last game, which they just had a banger game right now. If you haven't tapped into that Knicks Hawks game, go watch the highlights, cause boy, shout out that boy Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That boy had Jalen Brunson on clamps. Nah, he didn't. He sent him clamps on the last play. What's it called? This Hawks team, I did not think was gonna be able to stay afloat with this Knicks team. I think what the Knicks did last year, I think they were gonna do similar to this year. Is that in the regular season they're gonna be up and down. They're gonna show us flashes. They're gonna show us different rotations and be kind of like, are they gonna be good type of team? Even though they have so much talent, and they have such a great starting five. I thought once they get to the playoffs, which is what they did last year, they're just gonna blow by teams and just look like the better team. And boy, the Hawks team looking kind of good against y'all. I'm like, bro, could they lose? And although that first game, the Hawks lost, I think the Hawks played a really good game. The Knicks, of course, just had Jalen Brunson, which is such a plus. Having the best player on the court, that's always gonna be such a plus. Which we saw in this second game, which we ain't gonna talk about too much because that's for next week. But we saw in the second game that like having the best player on the court in that final stretch is really important. Shout out, boy, CJ McCollum. But yeah, this matchup is gonna be closer than it may seem, and I didn't expect it. I really had this Knicks team. I think I had them beating the Hawks in 5 or 6, but the Hawks getting a game in Madison Square Garden, being in one of the best or loudest stadiums in the league, one of the best stadiums in the league, getting a game over New York. Hey man, shout out that boy CJ McCollum, dropped a low 35 piece. You know what I'm saying? But now that the playoffs are set, let me give my full predictions now. I had my little mini predictions, and I already messed it up because the freaking Clippers want to get Kawhi wants to get clamped by Draymond Green, and the Charlotte Hornets want to get freaking bullied off the court by Orlando, bro. Which, me predicting 76ers to win that game was a bold prediction, and I won it, bro. Just that boy Orlando Magic decided to tap in, trying to mess up my freaking pick set, bro. Shout out our boy Denny too. He messed me up too. So the first round in the West, OKC versus the Suns. I got this as a 5-game series just because the Suns have Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker and Jalen Green and that offense can get a game, and they're already such a hard defensive team. I think they could get one game at home. Where Suns fans are I've heard about them Suns fans over there in Arizona, bro. They some really loyal fans, bro. They some really crazy fans too, though. But I think D Book and them can get a game. But I got OKC beating them in 5. But the Lakers getting a win. I forgot what I said, but it's Rockets-Lakers prediction. But I still have the Rockets winning in 6. Maybe it might be a 7-game series now that the Lakers win that first game. It kind of shifts it a little bit. I will say Rockets. Excuse me, Rockets in 7. Shout out boy Katie. 3 seed Nuggets, 6 seed Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards being injured and playing through injuries also gonna really mess his team up. And they're going against the best team in the league, the Nuggets. Shout out Jokic. Which I forget what I said. I think I said Nuggets in 6, and I think I still stand on that. Even if the Nuggets go 2-0 tonight, I still have them in 6. I think the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards can still win them two games in the playoff series. So I got Nuggets in 6, and then Spurs versus Trailblazers. Trailblazers really showed me something in that third quarter where they kind of were getting stops. They were getting buckets too. They were hitting shots, and Drew Holiday was not one of them. Which I know Drew Holiday can get them shots. Can they take a game from the Spurs? I think the Trailblazers can. I got the Spurs in 5. I got the Spurs in 5. For Detroit versus Magic, Detroit going down 1 is how much? How much does that scare me? Which again, I haven't made a playoff prediction for this because I didn't think the Magic were gonna tap in. But I'm gonna have Detroit in 6. Detroit in 6. I think the Magic have one more game. I think the Detroit's gonna win next game at home. I think Detroit's gonna win another game in Orlando. But Orlando's gonna take one at home in Orlando, and Detroit will win the rest. So I got Detroit in 6. Cavs versus Raptors, bro. Raptors, bro. I need y'all to win in 7, bro. I got the Raptors in 7. Raptors in 7. Yo, can Raptors bring the Cavs team to 7 games, bro? Am I delusional? After watching that first game where Raptors were hitting shots and they still didn't win the game. Even though I was watching this Cavs Raptors game right now and they were looking hitting shots too. Shout out that boy RJ Barrett. You know, he was getting cooked that first game. Oh my goodness, that boy was getting cooked that first game. Bro, this Raptors team still, I think, is such an underrated dark horse team. And I can't go the highest. Right now, I'm going literally the highest besides like the Rockets, Lakers, 4 or 5 matchup. But like, who cares about that? They have to be my upset team. I still have the Toronto Raptors winning in 7. I might be delusional, but maybe I'll be the first. Maybe I'll be the only delusional Raptors fan, which I'm not really a Raptors fan, but Raptors fan on the planet. And when I'm right, I'm gonna clip this and post it on the Foot Basket Podcast on IG, which go tap into the Foot Basket Podcast on Instagram, so you could stay updated with all Foot Basket Podcasting related. 3-6 matchup, Knicks versus Hawks. Now it's a 1-1 series, and we go to Atlanta, and I'm like, wait a minute, is this a Game 7 incoming right now? Is this a Game 7 incoming? And you know what? I have Knicks winning in 7. Which, again, I think this is going to... Bro, I'm not going to say it's disappointing for the Knicks, but, like, I think I'm really going to tap in and beat them in 5, to be honest with y'all. I don't know what I said last week, but I think I had the Knicks winning in 5. No, definitely not 7. But after Atlanta like that first game and them winning this game in Madison Square Garden in the second game, I have the Knicks winning in 7. So it's like 76ers. Do we even need to talk about this game? About this series? Celtics winning in 4, bro. Only sweeping throughout. I think throughout the whole playoffs, because the Celtics are gonna play the Knicks. That's definitely not gonna be a sweep. The Raptors are gonna play the Pistons. Yes, the Raptors are gonna play the Pistons. That's definitely not gonna be a sweep. Yo, Raptors Pistons game will be the best series of all time, bro. Unfortunately, it won't though, because there's not like the Raptors don't got like a crazy like 3-second buzzer beater shot maker. Anyways, Suns or the OKC is gonna be playing the Rockets. I don't think that's gonna be a sweep. I think the Rockets can take a game, and then the Nuggets will be playing the Spurs. That's gonna be a banger series too. So, but yeah, bro. Hey, I just wanna again thank every single viewer, subscriber, people who like the videos, people who comment on the videos, who be tapped into the IG as well. If you aren't following the Instagram. Foot Basket Podcast on Instagram. Go follow it. It's Foot Basket Podcast on Instagram. I just thank all of y'all for 20 weeks. Continue to encourage me even with your comments, with the views, with the likes, all of it. It encourages me, and I am so thankful and so grateful that God has blessed me with this opportunity. I have enjoyed it, and I can't wait to. I have so many things like set up for you guys when it comes to the group podcast and bringing guest people on and just having these conversations. I think it's going to get so much better. I got so many ideas for you guys, and I can't wait, bro. But the playoffs is a little too serious. We gotta have our little one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? Me and whoever's on the other side of this video. Just me and you having this conversation. Or you might be listening to the Spotify, which, again, if you don't know, you got Foot Basket Podcast on Spotify as well, in case you're driving or in case, you know what I'm saying, you just want to put it on while you're doing the dishes or cooking up some food. Go make sure you go meal prep this week. Go tap into the meal prep. Go make you some rice, some beans, and your protein of choice. I'm not going to tell you my protein because people be clowning me on it. But it ain't ground beef and it ain't chicken. So that means, and it ain't steak. So we ain't got a lot of options here. So but yeah, I'm just so grateful for 20 weeks. I can't believe 20. It doesn't even feel like it was 20 weeks ago when I started. It feels literally like yesterday when I started it. I have like 130 views on that video, like 15 to 20 likes on it. which may not sound like a lot, but it is really meaningful to me. Again, if you aren't subscribed, just subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Send me any feedback, send me any questions, anything like that on the Foot Basket Podcast Instagram account, or you could comment on this video. Again, I'm so thankful for everybody that really taps into these videos and everybody that shares them, anything like that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. When you watch the video, tomorrow will be my birthday. So happy birthday, future on you. Saying it to myself in case I watch this video. Sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you guys have a great week. I'll see you guys when the Celtics sweep the 76ers. I don't know if I'll play their fourth game by then, but I'll see you guys next Monday for a great week of NBA hoops, and we'll see what happens in these playoffs, because there's going to be some buzzer beaters, there's going to be some bangers. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.